You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Testing 1, 2, 3. We're live. Okay, so we'll wait a couple seconds here. What we're going to do is we're just going to test. Just want to test something first before we head into the games. Okay, nice. So this will be nice to cast with. Just a higher view. Nice. Okay. Alright, looks good. Okay, game 1. Quetz versus Tigerboss. So this happened maybe 2 days ago. So let's see, we got Tigerboss playing Isis, and Quetz playing Kronos on Alfheim. So actually, I've seen Nakamura play Isis on Alfheim. It's a pretty popular god for Alfheim, I'd say. However, Kronos is probably the most played on Alfheim. So yeah, we'll see how they match up. Tigerboss being more of a supremacy player, is kind of playing his first DM games, I think. Yeah, we'll see what kind of supremacy strategies he brings into DM. Because I don't think he knows any build orders, judging from the way he's building. Yeah, he should be sending these villagers over to a second town center to go secure it, but he's opting to stay in his base, which is a little bit passive for an Isis player when you're merking this hard. Let's see, this village is kind of getting hurt here. Will go down is the question. Looks like it will go down. Okay, so first citizen getting picked off. Quet's down to 4 citizens. So good merc rush. Never really expect to get any citizens with the mercs, but in this case Quetz was a little sloppy. Tigerboss took advantage of that. And he's moving up. What's he gonna make? So he's still spamming mercs, making some elephants. Looks like he went Osiris, I think. Nope, he went Thoth. Interesting. Okay. Maybe Tigerboss knows about the Thoth strats. Gonna try an Eggy drop. Hey Grass, how's it going? So interesting. I wonder if Tiger's been watching some DM, knowing about the strategy here. Maybe Grass, maybe you told him about it, something. Hating going stream to stream. Yeah, it's all good. All good. This is going up onto YouTube anyways, so you can always catch up on whatever you miss. Okay, so looks like Tigerboss is only at 83 population. He's still making his houses. I think he forgot about them or something. So he's gonna be under population. Yeah. Nice thing about Thop is you're able to really get yourself max pop really quickly, but if you don't have your houses, you're not gonna be able to take advantage of that. So we got a rock. How many? What's in it? We got 8 Ellies in the rock. We're gonna be able to survive all the way in the base. Quetz does have a nice defense going. Oh, the rock's over the temple. Yeah. He wasn't in a spot to let go of his Ellies. So those went straight down into the graveyard. Quetz opting to go for a heavy Murmillo, Ballista. Kind of switching a little bit with some Arcus. So I think he's auto-queued every single building here, so it's kind of like a random what units he's gonna pop out. Most likely just gonna be the Murmillo. They are the cheapest for pop. What's happening over here? We got a little bit of Kronos action. Taking over Tigerboss's second TC. So I think we saw something similar in Wiz versus Western, in a very similar matchup, I feel, where I think it was Wiz who was the ISIS player, who was also making a ton of elephants. The thing is, like, just shooting elephants straight down the middle, even though they're tanky, they don't trade very efficiently. So what ends up happening is you just use a lot of resources, 180 food per elephant. So even though you do start with a lot of resources in deathmatch, quickly you realize, dang, I'm out of food. So thankfully, he is starting this trade early. So that way, before he runs out of food, he'll be able to get some caravans up. Which is a nice play by Tiger there. Just see how this ends up, because if this fight stays in the middle, Quetz is definitely advantaged. These elephants, you only want a couple in the fight, and then elsewise, elephant raids are much better. Shooting elephants from the sides. So I'm keeping my eye out around the map here. That's just starting to make some fire siphons on the side, so he's probably going to go for a raid on the Tanza today. I'm interested to see where this meteor goes, and if Quetz can get some vortex action going. It's a little under pop. I wonder if he's slowing down his production because he's only at 700 food, or 700 gold. Where are these chariots going? I'll be raiding this. Maybe get a locust. Let's see. So fire siphons, Tigerboss spots them real quickly, so that's just a temple down. I don't think he can get much more than a temple. Yeah. Has to back off until he can make some fanatics or something to deal with those villages. So one thing Tigerboss does have, on top of Quetz, is a trade route. Quetz hasn't started his trade. I wonder if he will, or if he's just going to stick to gold mines. For gold mines, other than this one, the rest are relatively exposed. So, see how well Tigerboss can do here. Ooh, that was a nice locust. Getting 2 citizens here. I don't think he's going to get any of the heroes. Maybe? Oh, so close. He's got a 3rd. Very nice. Quest down to 10. 10 citizens. Ran out of gold already, so Quest has to be really, really careful on how he uses the rest of his resources. He needs to make sure that he gets his economy pumping before he continues making army. Maybe he backs off for a little bit, reconsiders his composition. We'll see what happens. Tigerboss doing a really good job at conserving his resources despite the kind of mass elephants in the early game. This main TC is a little low here. A catapult hitting the palace. So it looks like these buildings are gonna get taken out. Oh, I didn't even see that. Those fire siphons that we saw earlier, they actually turned around and went to Tigerboss's 3rd. Took that one out. That's troll too strong. Yeah, he really likes his unorthodox strats, that's for sure. Okay, Tigerboss pushing up a couple catapults as well on the main TC of Quetz. So one thing about Quetz is he needs to be careful about not paying attention to his sides. Quite often you'll be able to sneak like ram raids or catapults and stuff at a location that he's not looking at, and totally pick them off. So one thing that Quetz has now at his disposition is Vortex. I think that's what Tigerboss is probably waiting to use Meteor on. However, speaking of, or in the Vortex discussion here, Quetz doesn't really have any siege, so he wouldn't be able to do any sieging vortexes. It would have to be an eco vortex. Tigerboss does have a huge trade. What's he getting? Yeah, 50 gold. So that's probably what, like 30 caravans. So his eco is going to be totally fine, I think. So Quetz just basically has to continue building. I think he's been a little lax with his building. Just kind of sticking to his town centers. And there's his first vortex. I don't think he has any siege with it, so it's probably just going to be used to pick off some caravans and kind of this gold eco and the tail end of this prosperity. Oh, actually, you know what? That's right, the main TC was already a little damaged, so single Hecka Giant. It's actually going to take that TC down. Quetz actually gets a couple of caravans with it. So nice play by Quetz. I would have never expected him to kind of shoot the main like that with that many archers. This is interesting. Both players mining adjacently, but none of them see each other, so it's very interesting. Alright, so Tigerboss took out that TC. Or sorry, Quetz took out Tigerboss's TC. But that allowed Tigerboss to realize, oh, my trade is short, I'm gonna go for a long trade. So now Tigerboss's trade is just a bit more efficient, I think. Why is it not efficient? Why is it only giving 13? 40. Weird. Hi, Dragon. How are you today? Okay, so Quetz doing a dangle move here. Vortex the main TC, and he's now going for this relatively exposed third. Some more fire siphons, aiming for a reset, but that TC is going to finish. Quetz wins these games with the first 15 minutes. After that, if he's not in a better spot, Tiger wins. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so decides that there's too much to deal with in the front, so he decides to do a much more potent vortex this time with much more siege potential. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 siphons. Tigerboss is like, screw it, I'm gonna have to meteor this. Takes out quite a few of the siphons. And his own TC at the same time. So, I mean, it definitely thins them out. I wonder if Tigerboss just realized that he only had a ton of chariots, and it's the only way to deal with them. See how much damage he can do this to this second TC. Meanwhile, Quetz is sending some Arcus to deal with the trade route. Just kind of annoying Tigerboss. Tigerboss still has a decent amount of gold in the bank here. Now, let's see. Quetz did start his trade, which actually Tigerboss is starting to build towers right in the middle of. Quetz sees this, brings a Heck Giant, will be able to deal with all of these. And just for everyone's awareness, these spiders actually give Quetz some LOS. So the reason why he does that at TCs is so that he could vortex them for free. The way to counter them is obviously just send, like, if you see these, just build on top of them. Like, approximately. Like, you can build, like, barracks and whatnot and just instantly delete them. And then that will clear up all these spiders. It's a legal tactic in DM. To be honest, though, I'm not seeing anything crazy from Quetz. Honestly, I think Quetz gets a little bit... I don't know if stage fright is the right word, but he gets a little nervous in tournament settings, so he doesn't try to do anything too crazy. I might be wrong. We'll see how it goes for the, you know, for the remainers of the remainder of the games. But yeah, he used the vision from these to get his last vortex. Tigerboss's TC here might get reset. There's not that many villagers building it. These two Hekkas smell blood. Tries to bring a villager and build something, but it looks like Tigerboss was trying to build a wonder or something. It's some resources to build a wonder. The wonder barrack block, or the wonder block. Into you. Okay, so I think one mistake Tigerboss has kind of done throughout this game is just too many chariots. These chariots can't really deal with the Lantian siege. So now Tigerboss is kind of running out of TCs. He's got one less than half health TC. TC that's just getting reset again, and Quetz is now starting to time shift some buildings. So this isn't looking good for Tigerboss, because now he has no trade, he has no, basically, well, he only has 7 villagers. Wow. This is super rough for him. These chariots trying to do something against these siphons. Yeah, so as ISIS, you definitely want to add some like spears and some camels and stuff like that. Don't want to mass chariots. Not in this matchup anyways. So yeah, well played. Well played, Quetz. Good vortexes. A little bit too many camels here. 42 camels is a little much. I'd rather see like maybe 30. But well played, Tiger. I am definitely impressed that he took the time to actually watch maybe a game or two and saw that Thoth with the elephant drop and all that was kind of a strategy you can do. We just update the score and we'll go to game 2. Game 2, Tigerboss going Zeus versus Quetz's Odin. So, Zeus actually does quite well in this matchup, in my opinion. Just the bell and just having Hippaspis that are quite strong, I'd say. Like Zeus empowered Hippaspis. Definitely the early Greek flood against Norse can be really, really deadly. So we'll see how he executes it. So he's kind of starting everyone on his armory and then kind of clicking when building, and he's building in his base, which is a very interesting, I don't know if it's strategy or if he's just trying to be efficient with getting his buildings up as quick as possible. That's a lot. Alright, looks like Quetz is actually building building on Tigerboss's third TC here, which I don't know if it's going to work because Tigerboss, since he's already built his buildings, he's just going to flood Hippaspis and archers. And Quetz's buildings and like towers and stuff like that won't get up in time to deal with it. And just the flood is just going to clear this, so really Quetz is going to have to focus on this town center, get this one up, and maybe a side build maybe around here to try to deny this kind of more exposed second TC, because this will never work, especially against Greek. But we'll see. Quetz is kind of building a few things on his second, building a few things on his third, and I guess maybe this is being used as a distraction, but at the same time he's using a lot of resources by spamming Rofsarks all of his longhouses, trying to get some hill forts up. So one thing to note here too is Tigerboss is also, he's popped. It's the second time where he's popped, so I wonder if he's like not bringing enough villagers at the start. Maybe he's just building with a single one. You definitely want at least, well, you definitely want 2 villagers on your houses after Classic. Yeah, it's definitely a decent distraction, but I mean, it's a little unnecessary to go that hard, you know? So, we'll see how it works for him. He did get his third TC pretty uncontested, starting his Huskarls. He's probably going to start Huskarl raiding at some point. Now he's given up on his third, kind of. He's still making Earls. So still some unnecessary resources going down the drain. Same with up here, he's just kind of creating more distractions. Undermine going up. Wonder if he's just going to bring... I mean, 20 Earl Sarks can probably take down this TC. There's nothing there to defend it. A couple of Huskarls in the mix too. Definitely. And that forces Tigerboss to actually use Ceasefire, so... we will just wait out the ceasefire, I guess. Besides, now is a good time to take control of his third. This is a little risky, I would say. Not risky, but I feel like he probably could have dropped some more barracks and some archery ranges and stuff like that, just to kind of like add a bit more meat to this area. So right now this town center is not going to go up before ceasefire is up. And when ceasefire is up, it's going to be totally exposed. And all Quetz has to do is send, you know, a couple units, and it'll be a full delay. That kind of wastes all these 4 villagers' time. Whereas if you can maybe plop down a archery range, barrack, kind of create like a wall, it can definitely help fortify it. The Huskarls in this mix, TC's definitely going to go down. I think Tigerboss knows it. I'm just going to let that go. I didn't see this, but 2 gold colossi on Quetz's third town center. This is definitely going to go down. I don't think Quetz has anything to deal with it right now. Tigerboss is doing a pretty good job at clearing his area. He did miss this, but this isn't a huge threat at this point. Quetz is kind of focused elsewhere. Still will want to clear this out before hill forts pop up. As we can see that now he's starting to make some Earl Sarks. And Underworld comes up. Hi Daydreamer. How's it going? Hope you're well. Oh, and Bell goes down. So he's doing a nice job making counter units. Quetz uses Frost. Tigerboss did bait out 1 Colossi, so he's going to be able to bring the Colossi back into this fight if he wants to. Meanwhile, Quetz is kind of doing Quetz things with the Huskarls. Doesn't care about that Underworld, he's just going straight for the main, so he's going to go for kind of a base trade scenario, in a sense. A lot of Earl Sarks. Did manage to get Tigerboss's second TC for himself. I'll give him the extra population. Well, he still has the early game res still in the bank. And Fimbulwinter comes up too, so kind of a nice time to use it. They're gonna help with the Paspis here. And actually he took out the Underworld too, and this Underworld actually was a dud. So Quetz is doing quite well. Tigerboss is down to 0 TCs. 4 villagers. So now he has to rebuild a TC with 4 villagers, even though he has the most res in the world. If you don't have villagers, you can't rebuild anything. So these 3 plus there's 1, they are all that Tigerboss really has left. Would you recommend closed up maps versus Quetz? I would. Just trying to think here. I think I would recommend playing defensively on no matter what map it is. Just going defense at, like, not full defense, but like definitely adding some buildings in your main and fortifying your second, and kind of taking more of a slow approach rather than like a flood approach. Because what Quetz will do is, if he sees that you're flooding him too hard, he'll hit you from somewhere else, right? He'll try to avoid like straight on fights and hit somewhere else. So you can play aggro. You just have to hit him in multiple different areas and not just one front. If you notice, he has AQ on pretty much all his buildings at once. So you can kind of take advantage of him making one certain type of unit and try to counter it. If you can switch off units and get counter units going, you can definitely win KD. Yeah, control gold mines too. He's a heavy proponent of like having a huge blob of undefended bills and stuff like that on gold mines. So you do a bit of raiding on his gold mines, that can really throw him off. Tigerboss is only at 3 TCs, or I mean 3 villagers. Does get a TC up, but yeah, it's going to be a slow grind for him after this comes up. Let's just stick to what I played versus you. Yeah, you can pretty much play what you're comfortable with is my suggestion. Don't try to psych yourself out. Play what you're comfortable with, and it usually works out. Yeah, TC is town center. Finally getting a couple more villagers going. Yeah, this is going to be a little tough to retake a second, though. Quetz now at 4 TCs. Pretty much controls the whole map. I get a wall pretty much 3/4, or controlling 3/4 of the map here. Tiger's starting to run out of gold. Does have the plenty vault, but yeah, at only 7 villagers, once you run out of gold, doesn't matter if you have a plenty or not. Like, you're not going to be able to keep up against a 4 TC full trade Odin. Quetz doing a good job at not kind of not slowing down the aggression and keeping the pedal to the metal. Keeping Tigerboss on 1 TC for long enough that he's running out of resources and very low amount of vills. Tigerboss is going heavy on the Myrmidon here. Isn't too bad. Not the best, I would say, against Mass TA though. Good against the Frost Giants, that's for sure. The Mass TA will shred. Now Tigerboss is out of food, and when you're out of food, you can't make villagers. And if you can't make villagers, you can't make resources and army. See how this pans out. So I think Quetz is pretty much stabilized in his eco. I mean, he's doesn't really have the most amount of wood banked, but he's got 15 villagers on it. Are they dwarves though? No, 15 villagers. So he's kind of min-maxing. He keeps making only portable ramps though. They're all just gonna die. And actually, Tigerboss is going to take this TC. Oh, oh no. I thought it was up too. Full reset by Quetz. And now Tiger doesn't have enough gold. Can't even remake it. He's relegated to bringing this tower up. What can he do? Oh wow, that's a huge ram raid. These aren't Baldur rams though, they're just tier rams. Wonder why he's opting to do rams rather than Huskarls. Maybe because of the Hibiscus, but this might be a dead TC. Surely it is. Yeah, that's the main down. That was Tigerboss's last TC. Yeah. It's over now. Quetz finally choked him out. Even the 1-2 tap. Very well played by Quetz. Now up 2-1, or 2-0 actually. 2-0 against Tiger. So let's go to game 3. Tigerboss sticking with Greek. Going Hades this time. Against Quetz's set. Okay, so let's see what Quetz can do with set. Set is definitely known for its kind of more cheesy games or kind of playstyle, I'd say. Use shifting sands to pretty much everything. Gonna be pretty unique with it. Shifting sands some vills, you can shifting sands some siege towers, you can shifting sands scarabs. So we'll see what type of strategy he decides to employ. Speaking of shifting sands, he didn't go shifting sands. He went snacks. And he just made 3 antibites. So, okay, these villagers better be careful for the antibites because they are the guardian antibites. They do jump around, they're fast. Kind of scary. What can he do with them? See if he's microing them. He's gonna pick off. Oh, he decides to back off. He almost picked off a bill, but decided to not. So is he gonna go Thoth here? That is my question. No, he goes Horus. Okay, so snakes and then Horus. Why he would do that. I feel like with Horus you can make some axes and then shifting sands your axes. The axes will be able to siege quite well. But without shifting sands, I mean, Horus just kind of fights straight up, I guess. And the snakes are kind of not really useful, I think. Snakes are good for like when you're playing Thoth and you're going for really hard like cheese. But just snakes playing Horus? Not too sure. Not too sure what his plan is here. So it looks like Tiger is actually the one that's going to be flooding into Quetz here. Getting a ton of chariots. Ton of chariots into a pretty hefty Hipcon and tanky front line. Definitely don't want this many chariots as Horus. Just take up so much pop. 3 pop each. It's pretty tough. Full Chimera. They actually did quite a lot of damage to this chariot ball. Oof. This chariot's just almost got fully melted. That's down to 50. Holy. 50 population. 39 population. Jeez. That Pestilence doing work. Pestilence with the Chimera just like, melting him. That kind of a weird scarab in the back line, maybe taking a couple of houses with it, but not much more than that. Tigerboss almost done his second TC. Very nice from him. Yeah, definitely. Tiger is definitely out for blood now. Kind of took lessons learned from last games and was like, okay, I'm not going to make the same mistakes. I'm going to, you know, put my foot down his throat. And Quetz is really in trouble. Like, he's Horus and all his barracks are getting eaten up. He has no production other than a mid-goal. Tried to make a barrack back here, but that was not gonna work. Chimeras are coming around. Take up a couple of villagers. Quetz, I think, is overwhelmed. He doesn't know what to do. All these villagers getting picked off. Tiger now has more villagers than the set player here. Very much in trouble. Just not able to get popped at all. Quetz should definitely be making some mercs and stuff. Yeah, killing bills definitely is huge. It's in the early game, it's yeah, night and day. It delays so much. It just helps you. Citadel coming up. But the extra pop doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter if you can't get popped. Tigerboss is just having the most casual build of his entire life. Only has a fortress and was able to take up some settlements on both of his sides. It's like, yeah, this is nice. This is the life. This is the DM that I signed up for. Market's popping up. He's got Underworld. Life's good in Tiger World. Yep, Flood definitely works as a lot of the more in a lot of aggressive matches or matchups. So if you're the more aggressive Civ, you can definitely Flood, and the objective of the Flood is to delay your opponent's TCs and snipe fills mostly. You will lose KD and you will utilize more resources, but if that means that you keep them at a lower amount of TCs than you can get your eco up quicker than they can. And then in that mid game, when you're transitioning from your starting resources to your you know, to your self-sustaining resources, you don't have that awkward period where you're at zero of everything and you're trying to, you know, catch up. You're already set up for that transition. Quetz only having the one mid goal, a couple barracks now. He's able to make a couple axemen, but had to basically mass chariots here, which is not ideal. Look at that. 80 shades coming. Tigerboss doing a good job. He's staying calculated here and doesn't want to overextend his welcome. As you can see, the resources, Quetz does have a little less food, but does have more wood and gold, just from the nature of, you know, when you're the aggressor and you're flooding, you will lose the KD battle most of the time, unless you're really like making counter units and you're totally destroying. A lot of vills getting picked off. Quetz losing so many vills. It's tough for him to build anything. Tigerboss. Oh, earthquake. Getting a couple houses, getting the mid goal, getting the temple as well. The temple is actually pretty big, because now Quest can't make any myths. Tigerboss already making some caravans, quite nice. So yeah, well, Quetz is kind of full on focused on building. The nice thing about the flood is that Tigerboss is able to start making his eco, getting that transition period, and not having that awkward zero res moment, whereas Quetz is going to hit that zero res moment. You know, maybe not soon, but getting there. Like, he's almost out of food, and food is what's needed to, you know, make your caravans and vills. So he's going to have an awkward transition period here. Tigerboss doing a good job. Not letting the O2 start get to his head. Even though last game's Greek choice kind of didn't work out for him. Didn't let that get to his head. And Quetz uses vision to see if he wants to resign or not, and he sees sees the tiger trade and taps out. It's well played by Tigerboss. Good flood. Never let Quetz kind of rebuild. So we go to 2-1. Game 4. Quetz going to Thor, and actually, even though Tigerboss annihilated Set, decides to go Set himself. So we'll see how he utilizes Set. Very interesting that he goes like really fast age ups with all his villagers. The weakness here is that he's not putting any buildings forward. He's building in his base, which means there's more walk time when the fight ends up, you know, happening maybe in the middle. There's just more walk time from his production to the fight. Whereas he could have been, you know, after this temple, he could have built the armory over here, then, you know, shift clicked, mark it up here. So there is a little bit of downtime between building that building and actually aging up, right? So in the meantime, these villagers could have been walking up every single building, placing down, you know, mid-gold a bit sooner, getting established a bit quicker. That comes with experience. I mean, Tigerboss is still, you know, making up for it with the rest of his play. It's not a huge deal. Definitely something that can be fixed really quickly, just with a bit of practice. I haven't seen Tigerboss play against anyone in DM, so it's pretty. From all I know, these are kind of the first games that Tigerboss ever played in DM. Okay, so one issue that Tigerboss should have realized from the previous games is that he pops himself really quickly. It's only at 60 maximum pop, and that's because with Set especially, you want at least 5 villagers making their houses. Just because you do start with all these animals and stuff like that that each take 1 to 2 pop, I think. Some maybe even 3. Yeah, just 2. As you age up, so you need your houses up as quick as possible, or else all you have around the map are some animals.
Tilbúin. Tilbúin. Já. Tilbúin. Skipan.
Quetz sees that Tigerboss wasn't making his second TC, so he starts to plop some buildings down. So Tigerboss sees that though, starts murking them, see if any of those buildings come up. Again, Tigerboss, I think, man of habit, supremacy, loves his chariots. But in DM, they cost 3 pop, so you really don't want to spam them. It's very counterable. They're good for raiding and stuff like that, but in a fight, they're just a little slow to kill things.
Já. Tilbúin. Skipan.
Sending in some reinforcements to continue building. So, trying to really take this Tigerboss's second TC there. I like the late merc spam to slow down the TC. Yeah, it can definitely be very helpful in some situations. For sure. You do use up a lot of gold though. Eggy already being pretty gold, gold heavy. Decides to use shifting sands to deal with the side build. Definitely good to deal with it sooner than later. I would have preferred if he actually just sent his units over there and just walked them, rather than having to shift them. Like, yeah. STC is probably gonna go down. Not too sure that was a wise decision to go so forward. Tigerboss there. Make sure you get your TC up and you get the extra pop, but it's probably gonna be short-lived. With just naturally, just with the amount of siege that Thor can push out, if you see all these hill forts and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see how that works out for him. Yeah, that TC should never have come up, honestly. Just kind of going back to what I was saying. Not too sure why Tigerboss is spending so much time at keeping this town center up. It's most likely going to end up going down, and you're going to be spending way too many resources trying to keep it up. But who knows? Maybe he thought that, if Quetz is going to take this town center, that he himself would take this one. But honestly, it's fine to play on 2 TC as long as you're not giving up another TC to your opponent. Like, as long as you're fighting on the TC or on the settlement, or you have buildings around it and your opponent's not building it, it's fine to stay at two town centers for a little while. If that means you can secure your other town centers, build up around them, maybe get some good raids on your opponent, and then once your opponent's withered down, then you can build up your 3rd town center. But going forward like that, I don't know, in my opinion it's a little risky. It's kind of working out for him though. It was a little crazy considering that says 9, 10 ballista, a couple fire giants. Yeah, TCs aren't everything in the early game. It's really in the late game when both players have their economies up, and then pop comes in really into play. In the early game, you kind of want to either be denying TCs or trading efficiently, and since Tigerboss is kind of, I don't know if he's the aggressor here. I think he's more of the defender, honestly. Just with the amount of chariots that he's making without siege. So just go for the KD instead. KD, and then maybe secure a corner. But she's securing this corner here.
Skipan.
Yeah, look at that. It's actually kind of working out for him. So maybe Tiger knows something that I don't. Maybe chariots are OP. Maybe you should always, you know, build forward against a Norse player who has 10 ballista. Maybe Quetz made some mistakes. I don't know where his gold went. Did he just trade inefficiently? Yeah, looks like the KD is heavily in Tigerboss's favor. Interesting. So not too sure how to. I'd have to watch again to see where Quetz's res went. The players do have their trade established. 74 to 71. Tigerboss at 71 villagers with a nice trade, but might be a little over eco or something. Maybe he's just been. I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't have more resources here. Yeah, definitely well played by them. He's doing well against Quetz here. I haven't seen any major like Quetzy things other than attempting to build forward in the last two games, but definitely didn't help him. Or was it last game? No, it was the game before that he also built forward. Oh, so over eco in DM is more not really like over eco in the amount of resources that you have banked, but it's the amount of population that you put into your economy. So if we look at how much eco Tigerboss has, 18 caravans, so that's under. I mean, yeah, maybe a few too many villagers. Maybe all his maybe all his gold's going into Merc. So I don't know. Maybe it's just like the perfect amount. He is on 4 TCs, yeah, that's true. Nope. Yeah, you're right. It's just always scary to see that, you know, 0 food and 0 villagers on food. And then having like 37 and 34 villagers, yeah, having 0 res on each. Like, you're either being extremely efficient or something's wrong there. But it's just, I guess, the constant murking here. Yeah, never pull back mercs. So catapults coming in under towers, that's gonna be nice. Chariots, catas, priest, merc, and It does work. Yeah, it's a strong combo.
Into you.
Um,
Gary.
just
Into you.
I don't know why he would go Horus
Into
if he's going to go mass chariots. It's the only thing.
And which. And which. Greek.
This minor god path by Tigerboss, like you can replace these chariots with slingers, and they'd be pretty much equally as strong, if not a bit stronger, and cost less pop. Because of the Sekhmet buffs that DM patch has.
In wedge.
Okay, so Quetz actually having to use his Ragnarok god power, and then get stuck. Actually, his score is a bit higher. I wonder why. He's been trading a bit better now. Nope, Tigerboss still in the lead for trading.
Into you. Gary. Greek. And which.
This is just all the gold that Quetz has in the bank. If Quetz can get this TC down, it might equalize the playing field a little bit. Even though Tigerboss has a lot of the map under control.
Into you. And which.
A lot of axemen here. It's gonna clean up. See Quetz's eco go down. Wish I was that rich. Don't we all? I wish we can just like go to the mines and get $10 every time you hit the rock.
And which. Enito.
Okay, so Quetz actually breaks through here. That TC is gonna go down. Quetz getting a good raid onto Tigerboss's gold mines here. Still has a lot of villagers on gold mines though, so he's
Into you.
probably not that worried about this little raid here. If anything, it's helping Tigerboss go down to more of a 3 TC amount of villagers.
Into you. In wedge. Image erect.
Quetz has to be careful. This is basically his whole army here getting shredded by axemen.
Enito. Enito. And which. Greek.
The portable ram sneaking through, but I think the mercs will be able to deal with them quite well. One thing to note is there's not a single wall made on the map.
Into
I wonder if that's just the frozen wastes effect. You think that nothing can be walled, but actually walls really help on this map. Be surprised. Let's get a push back a little bit. Still fun on the eco though.
Greek.
Was able to kind of bank a lot of gold, I guess, and utilize a lot of his gold during the rag, and now he's able to replenish his eco with the amount of gold that he has. Tigerboss trying to siege down this TC with a bunch of axemen and spears, but
Greek.
Those are getting taken up. I don't think that TC is going to go down. So over here, put the fire giants. See if Tigerboss sees this, or if all these are going to be mincemeat here. Oh, this is scary. Ooh, gets 4 or 5 there. Decent raid. Tigerboss doesn't have the most amount of gold in the bank, so this does hurt a little bit. Does have the units to pick the fire gens off though. But still doing a good job. Doesn't have the map, but definitely putting up a fight. I think all it takes is kind of a good raid onto Quetz's trade, and then it'll probably destabilize him. We'll see how long he can survive on 2 TCs.
Great. Enito.
Yeah, this is kind of the way that Tigerboss actually accelerates the game. It's by setting up some catapults here. Town center's halfway dead, so all these houses too. Like, Quetz won't be able to rebuild that quickly with this army. Most of his pops and fire giants, so if that TC goes down, he's pretty much dead. Keep our eye out. There we go. Quetz saw saw his demise there. Yeah, having a strong fighting army isn't always the best choice when you're playing kind of defensively here, kind of on the back foot. That was his trade TC. It was never going to go back up with this army. So, wow, Tigerboss brings it back 2-2. Quetz at this point is probably sweating. So game 5, Quetz versus Tigerboss. Yeah, thinking of the gods. Wonder what they're gonna go. I really have no clue. Ooh, looks like it's gonna be the Eggy mirror. Ra versus Isis. So I'm no Eggy expert, but I think Ra might win this. And like, I think the difference here is that Ra basically gets whatever advantage that Isis gets, but also gets to do Horus, and just the efficiency of the Horus Axeman and Spearman just outclass any of the units that the Isis player can make. Sure, the Isis player can make Son of Cyrus, but yeah, like, it can easily get sniped in DM. Oh, the mercs are crashing. Let's go watch how well Quetz does microing them. Sneaks a couple through. Might get a pick or two here. Yeah. Village it down. What's this? Chicos. Oh, Oof. Yeah, Tigerboss having to retreat all his villagers back there. So that's going to be able to get another one here. Oh, it looks like the timers are running out on him, so Tiger's bills are secure for now. What's going on here? So we got more mercs, a couple more chariots, axemen kind of flooding to the second TC here.
Into you.
I'm surprised that Tigerboss actually didn't merc himself because he also went Hathor. So why no mercs? Interesting. Interesting. Maybe he thinks that he can, I don't know, maybe win by having more gold than his opponent? Kind of risky though, because you can see how much pressure that Quetz is doing, and just the amount of idle time that Tigerboss's vills have to do hiding from all of these mercs. Meanwhile, Quetz is able to already get his second TC up. So that's just the power of the aggressors. Yeah, the aggressor.
Into you.
Aggressors.
Into you.
Buff.
Into you.
Where's that rock going? There's a rock somewhere. There it is. Oof. Spots it. That's going down. Ouch. Nice snipe by Tigerboss. I think that was like 10 elephants. God damn.
Gary. In which
10 Ellies. The mercs spotting out Quetz's TC here, but I think their timers are running out. Yep. Okay, now it's March of the Elephants. Since the rock didn't work. Let's go straight. Now I think it's just going to be a battle in the middle. Oh, Tigerboss actually doing a decent job here. If you can look at the resources, he's kind of held on. However, he's only at 1 TC right now. This is TC. Yeah, so he's a little further behind on TCs. He's able to secure them, then he's in a much better spot. But if Quetz is able to kind of keep these TCs down,
in which
good Locust, picking up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 vills go down. That's 6. 6 vills going down. Gee. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Is this TC gonna go up? Some Kapesh here. Oh? Oh? Is it actually gonna delay it? Wow. The Kapesh are actually delaying. Takes off the priest. Ouchie.
Gary.
Tigerboss trying some raids of his own. Wow, Quetz is already at 500 gold left. Really used a lot of his gold. However, it's semi-working for him if he can get his trade up. He does have 42 vills compared to 14. So he will transition a little bit better, I think. He just has to be a little more careful here. He doesn't want to overextend too quickly.
Into you.
Nice build up here. It's going to stop Tigerboss from securing any type of trade.
Into you. Gary.
Siege tower is getting picked off. Tigerboss basically has 6k more gold than Quetz here. Yeah, this TC's never coming up. So, again, in these situations, I think we saw it with the other game, is you definitely want to fortify your TCs before going for the actual TC themselves, because as you can see, Quetz is just able to get LOS, he's able to just kind of keep sending just, you know, 1 or 2 units to keep delaying this TC. And it's... oh wow. Tigerboss actually decided to GG in game 5 that quick. I wonder if he was just tilted or something. Wow. I feel like that was a little bit premature. He probably could have just still played this one out. Maybe if you got some good raids on Quetz's eco, like Quetz's eco wasn't established yet. And Tigerboss still had a lot of resources, still had a TC up. Like, he was still able to produce vills. I mean, I guess maybe he was understanding the dynamics and how if Quetz just held on for a little longer, that his eco would kick back in, but I don't know. It's a good series though. Tigerboss, I feel like, learned as the series went on. Definitely played really, really well in game 3 and 4. Game 5 was a little tougher for him. I don't think he needed to resign here, but
Into you.
who knows.
In which Greg
Good series though. Good games. Quetz wins it 3-2, advances. And yeah, I think that'll be it for me tonight. So I will upload this VOD to YouTube. You can check it out. I will link it here in a sec. I'll link my channel and you guys can go check it out. I also have the Wiz versus Western on. That just got posted a couple days ago. And here's the... for some reason I'm logged out of my own chat here. Okay, well, it's in the DM Discord if you want to watch the Wiz versus Western, and this game will be popping up maybe tomorrow or the next day on